12 News is your election headquarters, and public education was the main focus during a forum tonight for candidates running for State Rep District 18. Ernest Bales, the incumbent, will run against Stephen Missick and Janice Holt in the GOP primary. Holt wasn't at tonight's meeting, but she'll be back in town on Thursday. This is a seat in Austin that covers Hardin, Liberty, San Jacinto, and part of Montgomery counties. Libertarian candidate Shauna Steele also participated in tonight's forum. As 12 News reporter Kyle Orr explains, school choice was a primary focus.
Two Republican District 18 candidates and one Libertarian met for the Raise Your Hand Texas Public Education Forum in Lumberton to tackle problems in public education.
We have to help those kids that need our help the most.
Republican incumbent Ernest Bales has been the District 18 representative for 8 years. He opposes the school voucher plan that Governor Abbott backs.
The vouchers are ultimately why we did not get the funding for our public education that we should have. And it was take all or get nothing. And whenever we killed vouchers with an amendment, the author of that bill actually pulled the whole bill and never even gave the rest of those an opportunity to be voted on.
Fellow Republican candidate and 30-year Army veteran Dr. Stephen Missick supports school choice. He says he also experienced teaching while he was on his doctorate. He points to the flaws of the STAR test.
It shouldn't consume the entire school year the way it does now. It should be about getting a quality education and setting our children up for success, not learning how to take a STAR test.
Shauna Steele was the only Libertarian candidate in attendance. She believes the school choice bill is necessary, along with the elimination of property taxes and the STAR standardized testing.
I know that it is difficult to eliminate property taxes because most of that goes to, or is supposed to go to school funding, but I think that increasing the GDP, that we can still fund our schools.
Candidates will have to get past the primary election March 5th before making it to the ballot in November. In Lumberton, Kyle Orr, 12 News.
And 12 News has all the election info you need. Just text the word VOTE to 409-838-1212 and we'll send you our complete voter guide.
Colony Ridge and allowing that to grow into what it was, or his vote against school choice.
12 News is your election headquarters, and tonight Governor Greg Abbott is endorsing a candidate in a closely watched state rep race. The governor came to Lumberton today, and he's throwing his support behind Janice Holt.
Yeah, she is challenging incumbent Ernest Bales and Stephen Missick in the GOP primary. The governor really making headlines by not backing the incumbent.
Yeah, the governor says his decision comes down to Bales' vote against school choice. 12 News reporter Kayla Shote is keeping tabs on all of the candidates for us. And Kayla, they're all trying to stand out to voters.
That's right, Brenda, Jordan. Each Republican candidate says their platform is to be more conservative than their opponents, and that they are the best fit for those who live in Texas House District 18. And today, Governor Greg Abbott endorsed who he believed was the most conservative. It was a packed house to see Governor Greg Abbott and his candidate of choice for Texas House District 18, Janice Holt. Holt says her platform is more conservative than her opponents. Abbott says he is against the incumbent, Ernest Bales, because he voted against school choice. Bales says he's already proven his conservative efforts throughout his 4 terms. Candidate Stephen Missick plans to play off his military experience at the border and believes in the right to bear arms and lowering property taxes.
She will join with me to secure the border, cut your property taxes, and ensure that every parent in this district has the right and the ability to choose the school best for their child. She will improve education, improve border security, keep you safe in your community. That's why I'm behind Janice.
Side by side with Governor Abbott, as we finally secure this border, we have to make that happen because places like Colony Ridge over in Liberty County are a direct output of the illegal border and the open border.
I work hard, keep my nose clean, I do the job I'm supposed to do, and come back home to my wife and 2 little ones every chance I get. It's an honor to serve in this capacity, and I appreciate the opportunity to continue that service.
District 18 covers Hardin, Liberty, San Jacinto, and part of Montgomery counties. One thing all 3 candidates can agree on is pushing conservative values is their top priority. In studio, Kayla Shote, 12 News.
All right, Kayla, thank you. Now, we've spoken with all of the Republican candidates in this specific race. You can find their interviews by heading to our 12 News Now website. 12 News is your election headquarters, and tonight we're in Lumberton, where 3 candidates running for State Rep District 18 faced off just hours before early voting is set to begin. It's certainly a race to watch. Just last week, Governor Greg Abbott turned his back on incumbent Ernest Bales. He's endorsing Janice Holt. Now, one of the hot button issues in the race is the future of abortion in our state. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brenda Matudi.
I'm Jordan Williams. Those 3 Republican candidates support the state's crackdown on abortion. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman is here tonight with what's at stake in this race.
That's right, guys. This is the second face-off for the candidates in this race. Last week, they discussed education and school choice. Tonight, they turn their attention to abortion. At Candlestick Baptist Church in Lumberton, the 3 GOP candidates for State Rep District 18 met voters hours before the start of early voting. Incumbent Ernest Bales says he co-wrote the trigger bill, which could lead to doctors and medical staff facing criminal prosecution for performing abortions.
We've passed the most restrictive laws that have been passed in the United States. The state of Texas is fighting a lot of those in the federal court. We will have to give those time to go through the process to see how best we can address those after that.
Janice Holt recently received the endorsement of Greg Abbott. She says adoption laws should be strengthened to give more kids homes, and she agrees with the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
This is a state's issue, so every state should make that decision. It shouldn't be a national issue. I am against abortion, personally, unless the life of the mother is threatened.
Challenger Stephen Missick has been a pastor for 10 years in Cleveland. He says his faith guides his beliefs.
I believe what Jesus taught and the apostles taught, and I think the biblical message on abortion is clear, that everyone's created in the image of God, every life is sacred, and life begins at conception. The Bible teaches that.
Now, the church sponsored tonight's debate. Other topics included property taxes, education, and the Colony Ridge community in Liberty County. Early voting starts tomorrow and ends March the 1st. In studio, Ebony Coleman, 12 News.
All right, important dates to watch for. 12 News has all the election information that you're going to need in our complete voter guide. You can get access to that by texting VOTE to 409-838-1212, and we'll send it right to you.
These were my television appearances on Channel 12 in Beaumont. Now, HD 18 consists of Hardin County, and this is Silsbee, Kuntz, and Lumberton, which are basically suburbs of Beaumont. So this House district goes all the way almost to Beaumont, but Beaumont, of course, is in a different district. But the viewing audience and listening audience of the radio station is around Beaumont. So what I found very interesting about these programs is the one with the governor. So what had happened is I was asked by Chip Darby to go on his radio program on 7 o'clock in the morning on 1300 AM, which I recommend. I recommend Chip Darby and his radio station and his program. So I did an interview with him. After doing the radio interview and doing some campaign work, I was interviewed by Channel 12. Then I went to the governor's event because I had met the governor before, and I figured that my interview with Channel 12 and the governor's event would be totally separate things, but they inserted me into the Janice Holt's Governor Abbott appearance event. So what had happened is I was standing near the front because I was talking to the pastor of Candlestick Baptist Church about the Lumberton Candlestick Baptist Church debate, which we were going to give in a couple of days. I just need to know when and where and how and the format and things like that. So while I was talking to Pastor Donnie, the event started. So I happened to be up at the front of the stage at that time. But I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't trying to make anything about me. I was just happened to be there. But the reporter focuses the camera on me and talks about me. And then she made some, I thought, some inappropriate and snide remarks. I think that my military experience and my experience on the border, as important as the border is, are assets. And she's talking about, well, Dr. Missick is going to try to play up on these things. Well, if you have a strength or something to add, you should play up on those things. And I think military service is important. And I'm more, as a veteran, I'm more inclined to vote for other veterans as well, honestly, as long as they hold fast to conservative and Republican values. Some military veterans don't. Many do. So I was kind of offended or appalled that when I did a totally separate interview, they ignored that, and then they insert me into Janice Holt's Governor Abbott campaign event. And Janice actually invited me to come. I actually get along fine with Janice Holt. I think I'm the better candidate. I think I have problems with Bales, honestly. But I have a positive relationship with Janice Holt, even though I believe I'm the better candidate, and there are certain weaknesses that she has, which we can talk at a different event. So lastly, we had Ebony. Ebony was a nice reporter, but they made the story about the Lumberton debate about abortion. Now, that was the first question, and it was a topic that was dealt with. But at the Lumberton debate, we talked about a wide range of issues, a very wide range of issues, from school choice to Texas seceding, and we talked a lot about Colony Ridge. And I think that's kind of a misrepresentation to have this, to say that debate, a long debate, we went over a lot of different topics, was about abortion. It wasn't. Was abortion an important topic in the debate? Yes, I guess it was. It was one of the topics. We started off with that, but we quickly went to other issues. So I think that's a misrepresentation to say that this is a debate about abortion. We're trying to put our abortion, or pro-life bona fides. And I'm pro-life. Bales has a weak record on pro-life issues, and Janice Holt also claims to be pro-life. But I preach about it. I think the abortion issue is important. I think we have to take a stand for life and protect and defend the life of the human rights of even the unborn, and teach people that life is sacred, life begins at conception, and life should be cherished. And abortion is a terrible thing. It's an atrocity. So that was me on Channel 12 News, and what I want to recommend that you do is this kind of segues into the Lumberton debate, and I think that was a good event. I think that the Lumberton debate, we all showed our true colors. So I think I performed very well in that debate, and I think it exposed some of the issues with Ernest. He was able to defend his own character and his own record. And I think that each of the three candidates, me, Bales, and Janice Holt, were able to make a good case for why we should be the next state representative. So thanks for watching, and you got to go out and vote, do your patriotic duty. Thank you, and God bless you.